Good morning, guys. Today I'll talk about world's biggest body and organization that has the onerous task of leading the world in the right direction. That's UN, United Nations, and all of us know that it has multiple agencies to deliver its enshrined promises, and economic and social welfare, social affairs. This time they have earmarked 17 goals, and those goals are essentially important for fostering communal harmony, social justice, sustenance. I'm going to spell out all of the 17 goals, and they are called SID, Sustainable SDI, Sustainable Development Goals. Although they are too ambitious in their nature and in their articulations, or you can say envisioning sort of a world where there will be no poverty. Like by 2030, it has a goal of bringing about everybody above the poverty line, and that means, like it's aiming for zero poverty all the world. Sounds far-fetched, but it's not improbable or, really dreamy. In fact, if the world wants, we have loads of resources, we have rich nations, and we are capable of harnessing the fullest resources lying untapped. And the need is that world bodies, supranations, the rich nations, they should work in unison to take care of the welfare of these poor countries struggling to. The second goal is, it says zero hunger. That means it's bringing food to the table or in the plates, the bowls of every hungry mouth. So this is another ambitious plan. And the third most important plan is good health for everyone, and good health and well-being. And it's not just good health. The larger masses, the populace, like 8 billion people, if they could lead a happy and free of fearful life, that would be the greatest achievement that the UN body is aiming for. Then we have gender equality. Now, gender equality or gender parity also is glaring discrimination based on the gender, and it's rampant all over the world. Men, women, they are born equal, but they aren't being allowed to live equally, with equal opportunities in workplaces, with equal pay rise or wages. And majority of the nations still, despite all the laws in action, we still have large-scale, victimization, discrimination, so sort of unequal opportunities for promotion, for even the career growth and development. So need our is that it's equal pay and equal labor, equal pay. There shouldn't be any unfair practices, but they're still going on. In an average, women are not paid as much as men for the same amount of job, the same kind of job. So it's a big aim. Then there's another sustainable development goal is bringing about clean water and drinking water and sanitation. It's not just water alone. Actually, water is life. And ironically or paradoxically, despite our all advancement technologically and with the robust kind of productivity, we still have not been able to, and there are so many countries in the world, they're reeling under the pressure of not having adequate amount of drinking water, and let alone having clean mineral based or refined water. So bringing water to the people instead of people going to the water. We know that women in rural areas still, including majority of the parts of the world, women have to carry buckets and loads of on their heads, and they have to walk miles to fetch water for their family. And unfortunately, again, women, they have to bear the brunt of bringing water because men go for work outside. So decent work and economic growth is the eighth goal. And when we talk about decent work, that means the people are still forced to go for a menial job, undignified, and it doesn't sound really humane that even today there are scavengers in our society. They carry the loads of shits of the affluent class. So economic growth is sustainable and it's reachable, accessible to everybody only when all of the people could be beneficial and enjoy the quality of life that's this 21st century should offer. So we have this as one of the biggest goals, I would say. Goal number 9 is building resilient infrastructure and promote inclusive. When we talk about inclusive, that means nobody should be left out. Everyone should enjoy the benefits, the bounties of nature, and also the productivity that human labor has done to us. So promotion of inclusive and sustainable industrialization and fostering innovation. No doubt that we have already gone past the Industrial Revolution, which has brought about consumerism, and we have the large-scale productivity. We have the resources that people are enjoying, but still there is a situation where commoners cannot afford to have basic amenities of life or essentials that they need. So goal number 10 is reduced inequality within and among countries. We know that there is a stark contrast between haves and have-nots. There's still very poor distribution of wealth, and rich people are getting richer and poor people are getting poorer, simply because there is an accumulation of wealth by big corporations. And it's no wonder that we say only 2% of the conglomerates and the big companies, they own around 70% of the resources or the riches of the world. Obviously, it's up to them to distribute, to transfer, to partake the dividends that together humanity has accumulated over the years with the human skills and labor, human capital. So, goal number 11 is to make cities and human settlements inclusive. That means there should be houses, roads, electricity, resilience, and valuable access to transport, to the essentials of daily lives. It doesn't count for only bread and butter. It also includes the things that ensure our well-being, our happiness. So when there is less of the inequality and there is parity and there is less of unfairness, injustice in the form of an equal distribution of wealth, resources, and more people are having the bounties and enjoy and that would happen only when we are protective of each other and we go for interdependence, instead of mutual rivalry and cutthroat competition and killing the other side of the hemisphere, and the divide with the Western blocs and Eastern blocs and struggling nations, progressive nations, advanced nations, those who are aiming. So this divide, it could be economic divide, it could be digital divide. So we have to ensure that lives, whether it's under water, whether it's above water, on land, we must, take care of them, and we have to have an urgent action to combat climate changes. And that's the big word, and that's becoming the hallmark of all our efforts, because as long as we protect our climate, we protect ourselves, our survival. If our climate is getting degraded to the extent that it's no more livable and our lives are, dying, we need to protect the species, not only the endangered ones, but also the regular ones, because they are a source of our livelihood, and we depend on them as much as the food cycle goes on. So the life below water has to be there. Marine life, it's a large cache of, and there has to be a moratorium on those, rare species like dolphins and blue whales and being, hunted for commercial gains, and must stop the killing and also the poaching. Poaching is rampant because of the cosmetic industry. They always promote killing of the animals in the form of the dividends that they get in return. So tigers disappearing, some of the precious. So they are the beauty of life, our universe, and we cannot let them go like dinosaurs and get extinct, like pandas. So goal 15 comes about protections and restoration. If we have lost them, we must restore them, promote sustainable and incremental, growth and sustainability of all we must manage forestry, because we are already losing lots of forests. In fact, a country like India, we have already lost 25-30% of greenery and vegetations, and we need to plant more number of trees, make it more greener. And also because that trees, they hold back the earth, stop soil erosion, it also stops flooding, also is a check, a guard against the desertification. That means corrosion, and also we're losing the arid lands, and the aridity is going on. So we need to stop this desertification and hold this process of we have to renew the land, and also stop the degradation in any form, erosion, or halt the. Then we have the 16 goals, which promotes peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development. Like, there doesn't have to be conflict and feuds and communal rights, and we need to know how to exist together. There has to be justice and effective to accommodate the inclusive institutions all over the at all levels and all over the world. And of course, the UN itself is the most inclusive organization, which tirelessly and vociferously endeavor to bring about all kinds of justice system. So the final goal is 17, to strengthen the means of implementation. That means we haven't been able to. We have world summits, climate summits. We have had some of the promises by Western countries and rich countries, those who could afford to bring about zero emission, and also stopping the sea rising level, temperature rise, because we're aiming for 1.5, 1.5 degree. We can't afford to have even 2 degrees, because that would spell disaster for most of the low-lying areas, and there would be submergence, and many of the cities and countries or islands are likely to disappear. So we need to keep the temperature under manageable level in order to stop CFC destroying the ozone layer, which is really cancerous. And in fact, by switching over to electronic vehicles and the future transport and less reliance on fossil fuels and more of the promotion of renewable, sustainable source of energy. So we need to capture and we need to harness energy which is sustainable in longer terms. And obviously many of the Western countries and advanced nations are already switching over to, and we have a climate control Earth summits where we have vowed to stop using fossil fuels and bring it to the zero emission level. So these are the supreme goals of the UN social bodies, and obviously these are not just the goals, they are the blueprint, they are the hallmarks, and they would pave the way for the kind of Earth or this universe we are going to leave for our coming generations, and they would inherit. Whether we want them, our generations, to inherit a parched land full of starvation, full of crop damage and higher degree temperature with all the ice caps melting, or all the barren and denuded land without vegetables and fruits, or do we want our generation to enjoy natural bounties in the form of foods and to have fun and frolic and have the fauna and flora and fauna all intact? Because we can not simply say goodbye to this earth. In fact, this earth is going to say goodbye before we say goodbye to it. And all of us cannot afford to live on Mars, and we're trying to be interplanetary species, but that's far-fetched for now. And why should we trade our planet, greener, the only planet, the inhabitable ones, for the sake of that desolate, dreary planet, so far and so scary? I mean, I don't find anything really charming about even thinking. It's inconceivable for me to think of this mankind migrating to ultimately an alien place, even if we have the most advanced technology to migrate there. So all of us as brethren and as a part of this 8 billion plus home, we must pledge to be a smart conservationists, a smart users of electricity, energy conservation, with equitable, fair distribution of the wealth and justice system, where all the brethren, we can live in coexistence, and we can pray for greener, more colorful nature, and we could survive in tandem with the natural laws, and that we humans are born innately to coexist with the principles of nature instead of going against them. Thank you very much. Let's resolve to remain resilient, ethical, responsible world citizen. Thank you so much.